This is actually my right arm, this one. Anti-knife remarks. So this is where Ray has a cut, Captain America has a cut, everybody's got a cut right there. Because that's where we're getting our cuts. It happened this winter also on this jacket. All right. So let me explain something. Somebody got like, who killed Collie Wren? And then like, yeah. So there is a component. There is a component of my life where I don't talk to anybody ever about anything because they're all idiots that look like this. And then I'm like, silent. And then like a genius on the inside. And I'm calculating 500 mathematical probabilities and know exactly what's going to happen to this guy, and this guy, and all the fights that they're going to have. And then I go online and I produce an entire Kabbalah program, and then I say something about this guy, and this guy wants to sue me now. Try to kill me. So there's a component here of my entire existence that looks like this. And Lucifer knows. So like when I got this jacket, it was the Archangel Kamael. Kali does not play with dice. Who killed Kenny jacket? But it's also to remind me, even if I was Archangel Kamael / Kali or Isis, I'm just this person. Like a nothing. I'm a like I'm this, or I'm this. You know, I'm not the piece of shit at the end. So that's that teaching. Try not to be the piece of shit at the end. That's awful. There's a component here that you, even if like you might be Kenny and you might be inside a galaxy that's a moron. Do you understand? So like Kenny's the smart one, that's why Kenny never talks. So it's our job as Kenny or Isis or Kali or whatever to clean out this body and this body and this body, because Kenny's already compact and understands everything. So that's the good teaching of life. Now I can hear myself. All right. This was a meditation I started doing before I ever took my first divine intervention class in 2011. And it was the compounding Russian dolls, Russian nesting dolls, or Russian folding, Violet Flame. And I did exceptionally well clearing out all my ick energy. And I did it day after day after day. And then I showed up in divine intervention, and I was like in the best shape of my life. I was very stable and very secure. And then after divine intervention, I dropped the meditation. And then I felt, it's almost like I fell off the horse. So um, this is about purifying the relationship within you, your community, your home, your community. So we do this with the eggs very intently. But it's really nice to get the purification coming through with the violet flame. And since we just built the 8th house Nexa, the first connection, they already came back to me and were like, you need 5 layers of brick on every ceiling and floor and the cable. And you need all that cobra acid to eat through everything because we feel the knife rape. And so they don't like it. So it's really inappropriate for us to like bind connections when we're a planet that has way more, we have demon and hell issues on this planet. So let's begin. I want to show one real quick download. This is kind of the vibration of violet flame. But this is about a really strong neural binding. That was a nice neural binding download. And I think that was enough for today. This one looks interesting. What is this?
It's a whole world.
Oh no, I don't want to listen to anything. Oh look, this is kind of what we're building. So that's the purification of the tower. Oh look, it's mother. So look at this is what we're actually building. Law of attraction. So we're building these gateways or highways of connectivity in the brain. Now let me remind you the sacred trees, Pandora, what that looks like. And you have all of these tentacles. And this is actually, we call these tentacles or the colors of them, the Mother Awa charm for the type of magic that we're gonna be producing. And that's the in-between between the blue, Griffin blue and the Ravenclaw pink and the combined. So it will vary back and forth. And then it will have like glow patterns on the inside at every at every ceiling and floor, and it begins to purify everything. So this is kind of like a moonbeam, but it's definitely a bioluminescent technology. The moonbeam is a bioluminescence, but it's not. It's a etheric substance instead of a physical. So we should, at the end of the day, imagine that our cords into the 8th house Nexa system end up vibing at this frequency, and we'll use the violet flame to begin to clarify all the energy between, because we don't want our polluted psychic energy to be attacking other planets or other star systems. And what eventually we're going to do is build this to every planet in the universe. And that's the real 8th house Nexa. So the divine feminine does not want they want people like Natiri, not perverse muggles that can't connect with the inherent natural ecosystem within planetary mainframe. So like we're not, Natiri's not a reptile, but she might not have had like a Hufflepuff brain cook, but she does connect. Like she probably would have had like a Gryffindor brain cook, sans like the physical magic. Because she has an appropriate sense of Geburah and boundaries and respect. So she would have had that. I wanted to see if there was anything else I wanted to show you guys. And here's the Harry Potter tree. There's the willow. So are all the planets going to look like no. In fact, this planet is not even sanctioned to look like Pandora. It's sanctioned to look like an integration between Pixie Hollow and Pandora. So there's more friendlier vibe within the natural ecosystem. So that would be a very Hufflepuff Nexa planet instead of a, Pandora is a very more Nexa, very, very Nexa planet. You have the angry Thanator and the snakes that will just kill everything. Okay, so like, there's a lot of actually ecological violence within Pandora, and it's more Tiferet Netzach would be more like where the fairies are prominent, have a lot more physical. We'll have like physical magic instead of living like the Navi, which just live in a natural harmonic vibe. So let me see if I go. Yay, there's Jake Sully. So every planet will still have its own unique grid or setup, just like the trees in Africa don't look the same as the trees in the United States. So we don't disrupt that natural ecosystem, but what we do is we are going to be adding all of the neural connects that are at the neon Ravenclaw or neon Gryffindor mandatory vibe up through the higher planes of existence. So they will all be gridded with Mother Awa charm. There's not one galaxy that doesn't beg for this. They're scream, just like our planet's like our planet's like, fuck Harry Potter, I just want Pandora. Just so like they want the overflowing abundance of natural harmony and love. And the Mother Awa existence is that love. So Andromeda's in charge of it, or she's our alpha Nexa point. I believe she's in charge. I came from a planet like Pandora before coming here. It was not like Pandora, but it was. And then I had a few other planets that I remember as my home planets that have a thriving ecosystem, but not like this. But I did come from a forest inhabited, great tropical place. So that is those are strong recall memories. Okay. But all this was in Bringers of the Dawn in the book. Like this is all part of the Hode matrix setup for this planet. It is an unfolding of bringing this into reality. Okay. Close your eyes. You're going to imagine the violet flame plasma being poured on you in your body. And it just burns. And it feels warm and purifying. And you'll see, like, I can look at myself and I can see the light frequencies vibing at those colors. And then I can push it through to down the bottom of the clipper and it folds beneath me and pushes other gross energy away. We did a lot of work to get to that level. And now we're going to do the violet flame plasma on our home temple, our home yoke. And then we do the next level, which is our city yoke. If you need to do 2 layers, like a half of a city yoke, maybe like your street block. And I feel a lot of the gross psychic energy leaving my body, being burnt out much deeper. Then we're going to go ahead and do the city yoke. And then we're going to go ahead and do our country or our state. Now, England's small, so it's like the size of a state. So I'm going to do England instead of the UK. And then we're going to go ahead and do our country or our bigger section, continent. I'm going to go ahead and do the UK. And I'm going to go ahead and do Europe, or so you do your continent. And I take away a lot of the dark magics. Probably put on to my ancestors or my ancestral line from other people through the millennia. Curses on your ancestors still adds up in your DNA. Karmic imprints. It's like the movie Holes. Excuse me. If you're watching this, it's probably because you're the person in your family who's gonna break all the curses or all the patterns. So everything was done to you and you get to do none of it in return. Like my mother in the astral planes is still seeking to be a predator on me. She's seeking for it. And it's like, I'm not allowed to treat my kids or my nieces like that. So I'd rather die before I reincarnate that pattern. I would rather spend 3 hours a day writing books to make sure those patterns break in the astral planes than can reinvent them, reinvent the wheel of horrible crimes. And then I just hear I'm just like a drunk with all my energy. Yeah, that's how my mother comes off in the astral planes. Just more like a Nazi plus a drunk. It's gross. And she has zero unattachment. So she doesn't like, so when you're doing these violet flames, it's like layer and layer and layer of unattachment because you're burning out cord after cord after cord after cord. To create real sense of independence. So we're still at our continent. Now we should do the planet. And you might see at the core of the planet the Mother Awa charm beginning to very much be developed there. It's being layered in and yoked in so that it begins to grow. So the Navi live in a unity consciousness vibe. They have a tribal leader, and then they have the tribal shaman. And then they have different alphas within the communities that are the alphas of specific talents or skill sets of those communities. So you'll have the head hunter or the head child taker, child care provider. And that's the generic template for a unity consciousness vibe. Now, we live in a Western society, even around the globe, with a hierarchical mindset. So then we have to throw that onto the tree of life and then build angelic templates with responsibilities and specific protocols for everybody. So that if you're at the top of the tree, it's because you have very specific responsibilities that need to be fulfilled in life. I was going to say, Jake Sully doesn't become Jake Sully without becoming the actual alpha that does the impossible tasks that no one is capable of doing. And so that's how he becomes the tribal chief. Not because he's the elder or the alpha through bullying, or he provides for the community and becomes a hero instead of a persecutor. All right. Next, we're going to do a 50 layered shell on the outside of the planet until we get to the outside of the galaxy, Milky Way galaxy. 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 4 layer, 5 layer. And what you're gonna find are a lot of people on this planet are completely out of alignment to the planet's architectural design system. They're really ready to make $1 million in technology instead of building the proper ecosystem that Mother Earth is screaming for. So that's a hode reptile. So they're like, don't even pass the truth of what Mother Earth is gonna create. So that's why Bringers of the Dawn was a really important book, because the Pleiadians knew what Mother Earth was gonna ask for, which is this. Harry Potter into Pandora. Blue people. Attuned with nature. It's textbook. So our job is to convert those people or confess them eventually. And we can ease into, we have to evolve. So with the 50 layers, like the 50 layer, the peony of violet flame plasma eggs in between our planet and the rest of the galaxy. It feels like the Russian folding dolls also. Then we go ahead and then latch on to Mother Andromeda. So we do the inset of this galaxy with Mother Andromeda galaxy. She's the closest one. And then you may need the 50 layers in between this galaxy and Mother Andromeda. And what you're gonna feel is that Mother Andromeda actually has the plans to bring this system into being over the current galactic the current galactic intelligence. And now we're gonna find our other 2 or 3 galaxies, and we're gonna build an intergalactic component or module within our 4 or 5 or 6 different galaxies that we've chosen. And then you hear them say, no fucking way are we not getting involved. So this is a mirror for health around the universe. Then I feel on the other 2 galaxies are some really dark reptilian energies. So that these violet flame plasmas will begin to purify that. And then we do one more 50 from our intergalactic component to then the universal structure. So all the galaxies, and then we do the violet flame with the 50 layers from our component going out into the universe. You should start to feel very empowered and self-confident that you have a good relationship or vibe. It's about bringing purification. I would do this meditation once a day or once a week, but on a regular schedule. And keep everything kind of nice and clean. Maybe you do it on your dragons. They really like the violet flame plasma eggs to like cook them out of their junk. You should start feeling very solid. My goal is to be able to get trees on this planet that look like that. So we will, and to get a more cleaned out green that doesn't, green ecosystem that doesn't have as much parasites or within like a speculative like this lifetime. That would be awesome. So I'll figure it out. I'm smart enough to. Um, the more that we can actually purify our own spiritual energy, the more likely we are able to develop and build something of incredible value. That is it. Violet flame plasma. All right, Collie Wren out.